It's a 75-year-old story that, like this film, is fading with time.
And poof, it's gone. It kind of applies to the memories of our military.
Harry Newak, a merchant marine, was 21 years old when America and its allies started to change the tide against Nazi Germany in the 1940s.
This was quite an invasion.
Harry served as a junior third mate on a Liberty ship which carried cargo.
Can you imagine being in a convoy with 100 ships?
The 97-year-old took us back at his home just outside of Forest City, remembering the massive Allied invasion which later became known as D-Day.
And we were instructed to put up, when we hit Britain, what they call barrage balloons, so that the Germans, as they were coming in to stop us from invading France.
Those balloons kept German fighter planes away. When the invasion did start off the coastline of France on June 6, 1944, many soldiers never made it to shore after being weighed down by too much gear.
They tried to make the invasion. And I think we pulled out. These guys weren't ready to go into the water. And they weren't ready to do what they were supposed to be doing, invading a country. My gosh, they drowned. They weren't ready for the battle itself.
Harry's ship was initially used to supply troops with food and other necessities, but as it got closer to shore, it soon became a floating morgue.
I think we had like 45 or 50 soldiers that never got ashore, and we put them on the deck of the ship, waiting for them to be taken ashore to be identified and buried somewhere.
Army chaplains later removed dozens of dead soldiers from Harry's ship.
They have their dog tags, identify them, and they said, we will identify the families that where they're buried.
He told me that it was the most awful thing he ever saw.
Peggy Newak helps recount her husband's memories of that day all these years later. The couple has been married for 66 years.
As people grow older, they feel more freer to do what they wanted to do, you know. I just don't think there's a secret, because if there was, I'd sell it. We don't complain about our life, right?
No, we don't complain.
After World War II, Harry continued his career as a merchant marine. He's been around the world more than 10 times, commanding nearly 24 ships, at one point one of the youngest shipmasters. After returning to the States, Harry and Peggy lived in New Jersey until the mid-80s. The couple then moved near their hometown of Forest City into a place where Harry felt most at ease, a house on the water at Newton Lake. It's here where 2 more generations of family grew. The Newaks have 3 children, 16 grandchildren, and 34 great-grandchildren.
We don't know anybody else when we have a party.
We didn't really learn about that.
Harry's daughter, Michelle Biondo, thinks of her dad and other World War II veterans as silent heroes. Michelle says her dad rarely talked about D-Day until she was in high school.
They're braver than we can even imagine because they protected the civilians also from the horror of it, you know, with the post-traumatic stress disorder thing that's happening now. I'm sure they experienced that, but somehow they had an amazing strength, I think, in that different era. It's really, really special for young people to remember that that's how we get to be in this sweet land of liberty, because of them and their sacrifice.
And before our visit ended,
do you want to see the Channel 16 truck?
16, the news station. Very good.
after showing Harry our live truck, which he called our ship, a special farewell from one member of America's greatest generation.
Oh yeah, there it is.
And what does this mean?
That means you're friends forever.
There you go.
Friends forever.
A friend whose sacrifice and story will forever be a part of our world history.
God bless America. And he does.
I'm Ryan Leckie, Newswatch 16.